there's somebody in my exact situation right now, somewhere in the world, and if they watch this video, they can learn something from it.
What is up? Today, I'm on my way to pitch a potential client. Now, this is my second time bringing my current offer to the market. First time I brought it, they received it well, but it wasn't exactly.
Henrik asks. My brother wants to come.
Whoops. It wasn't exactly, it was. I just didn't have the time and miles in it that I needed for that moment. And so the only thing I did was learn. I didn't fail or anything. But I was able to go back home, figure out like, okay, here were my shortcomings. Here's where I can improve. And these are the things that I can think about next time. So now I just hopped in the car and I'm literally at that next time. So I'm really excited, guys. I'm really, really excited. Flashback to the last people that I talked to with this offer that I'm doing. They're still in the pipeline. So I'm not sure whether or not, they're totally out of the equation. So what I have for a baseline of an offer, is something that's appealing to business owners, which is exciting. They can see the value behind it, but maybe I wasn't talking to my ideal client. Maybe they didn't have the right budget for it. So, those are the things that I'm trying to figure out. Today, I'm talking to a renovation company. So they have a bigger budget. They work with projects that are a lot more expensive than the first client I talked to. The first client I talked to did tree removal and winter services and spring cleanups and things like that, where yes, it's still a really good service with a higher ticket value, but home renovations can cost upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, so I'm not getting greedy about that. That's not what I want to get across here. What I'm trying to get across here is maybe this is somebody who's more aligned with what I'm trying to pursue, the offer that I'm trying to put out there. So there you go. This is my second time going out to talk to people about it. They are about an hour and a half from my house. So it's going to be a little bit of a drive, but it's going to be totally worth it. Some of the cool things about this client is they're faith-based. So they're called Red Letter Renovation. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut that out. I'm not sure. But Red Letter, it didn't click with me right away, but it's something that we see in the Bible as Christians when Jesus is talking, okay? So I was like, dang, that's unique. They also put it in their bio that they're faith-based and that they talked about Jesus. They post stuff about him. They read scripture before they start a job. Like when the day starts, they come together as a team wherever they're at and they read some scripture, which is super cool. Like you don't really see that. It's pretty unique. So I'm excited to talk to them, just to have another conversation with a business owner that's also trying to build something that's faith-based, and get to know like how that's going for them. Like what are they seeing? That's something that I'm really excited about. And yeah, here we go, guys. An hour and a half. I just got on the highway, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna bring you guys with. I'm going to be filming when I walk in there and stuff like that, and try to get some of the conversation recorded too, so that you guys can see what I'm doing, and then I can see for myself what I can improve on. But real quick, before I make it to the job site, I want to talk about what I did last time and what I think I need to do this time. So the first time I pitched my offer, it went really well. I was super polished. I had everything understood and everything made sense. I had a few things that I touched on that were pain points for them. But I just had a few. I needed to have more. There was more things that I could have dug into and uncovered. And then at the very end of it, they were not willing to just say no. So I knew that from my previous background selling solar that, there's going to be people you come across when you're doing sales that aren't going to be confident enough to just say straight up no. And it is what it is. And maybe whatever. We're not thinking about that. What we're thinking about is what happened, and they didn't say no. They were kind of working around that they need more information, which to me, as somebody who knows a little bit about sales, I'm not an expert or anything, guys, but I've done some work in the sales industry, so selling solar, read a ton of books, listened to a lot of people, and I just knew what that meant was that they needed more information. Okay, so they needed more information, but what they really meant is that they needed more value. They didn't understand the value. Okay, they saw what I was offering because I revealed the price right away because they asked, and I walked around it for a second and was just like, well, hey, I need to ask more questions and get to know you guys more. But we were able to get to it because they were anxious, they were nervous, they were fearful. Here's a marketer in front of me and they're pitching me on these services and he's saying all these flashy terms. He's saying all of these things. And I've worked with marketers before and I don't know what to expect. I've been burned by them. Like, I don't trust these guys. Look at this guy. This guy's kind of snake oily. Maybe those thoughts are going through their mind. And that's unfortunate, but that's just the reality. So what I needed to do was convey more value. So this time around, second time pitching the offer, I need to touch on their pain points much more. Like I need to ask much more questions before I even get into what I do. So that's what I'm going to be really focused on in the conversation is just getting to know them and their business and what they're struggling with and what they're currently doing and how they can improve it. Because if I focus on way too much about what my features are and how much I cost and what I can do and what I provide and all the experience I have, then that's just not what they're wanting to hear. They want to know those things. They want to feel like they can trust the dude who's talking to them and saying that they're going to provide them a service, but they also want to know that they're going to get results. And they want to know that the person that they're working with understands that their industry works a certain way, that it has these things to it, and you can expect this, and there's tried and true methods and all of these things that are going for that. So that's what they want to know. They don't want to know necessarily about what I can do, what my experience is, and all of that stuff. So that's what I'm focused on. Enough of me talking. Let's get into the sales conversation and let's go meet Justin, Jessica, and there's 2 more owners. He owns it with his cousin. So let's go meet them.
What?
I met Jessica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Are you meeting them now or
Yeah,
what? Oh, Jessica?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, sweet, man.
Yeah, dude. It's good to meet you. Or it's good to see you, dude.
Cool.
Unreal. It's been a while.
I think she's probably busy here. But
No worries. Yeah. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Good. My name's Luke.
Colton.
Colton? Good to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, 4 o'clock tomorrow. Just kind of
1:30. Her and Justin. Yeah, sweet.
You want a drink?
Sure. I'd love one.
Sold this place before I had a chance to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just
Monster coffee, V8s, and all the papa's gone.
I'll take a coffee. Thank you, man. That's awesome. At first, I was like, am I going to walk into a Snap Fitness and then are there going to be offices inside the Snap Fitness? But no, this is where it's at. This is sweet, man. Absolutely. And you guys have been in business since 2023?
Yeah, we just had our 2-year birthday.
Wow.
Slam the door.
Unreal. You guys already got an office and a whole crew set up.
Yeah, we started off in my backyard in the shed. Me and just basically whoever was willing to work with me.
Yeah.
And then Delano and Demeen had worked with me in the past when I was still trying to figure out a drill. And we ended our first year with 1.2 million in total sales. And then we had an office in Anoka. And then we grew out of that. And then we moved here. And now we have actual employees instead of just subs. Plus we have subs too, so I think we have like 10 employees. I studied a lot and I read book after book after book, and I destroyed my house, rebuilt it, destroyed it, rebuilt it.
Just to learn?
Yeah, I just kept doing things to try to learn things. We also host a on-site Bible study every Thursday in the morning. So every Thursday morning, the whole team comes in and we do a Bible study in a team gathering.
So you guys did that today?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep.
What are you guys learning about right now?
We just, wherever we open the Bible, and we're a lot of builders, they don't think of that.
Sure.
you think that everyone is your competitor. And I've tried to start this company in a way of my competitor is my friend.
Yep. So I do Facebook and Instagram ads, and then I do Google ads. And so with that, and the reason I said that the person that's using you guys right now, or that you guys are using, is doing a really good job, is because I think you got to keep doing that. But I think you also got to pivot into like putting a video out there that's paid so that people can see it in different spots, which is something that is getting super popular. And so,
I got Facebook.
yeah, Facebook, Instagram, just you guys talking. So for example, it'd be like, hey, I'm Justin. I'm the owner of Red Letter Construction, and we're here at the customer's name. Maybe they're there in the video, maybe they're not. Doesn't matter. But we're at Steve's house, and we're doing this, this, and this, and these are the kind of things we do at Red Letter. And so we would put an ad out that's like that, and then we would come back and then put another ad out that's like.
And you develop that, essentially that script, I guess you could say, for that content, so that you
Yep.
know, like,
Yeah.
'cause I'll tell you right now, we'll fail if you're like, hey, Justin, I need you to go
No.
and do this script. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'll do that one day.
Yeah. Yep. I would come out. I would shoot it with you. We'd have a script ready, and we would test a whole bunch of different things too. So yeah, you would take those ads, we throw them out there, and then you combine that with what you guys are already doing. What is your current budget for marketing?
I don't have one for marketing, to be honest with you right now.
Yeah.
I haven't even set one.
Sure.
I think I would probably start off like slow and see how it goes.
Right.
And if it was seeming to go really well, I'm logging in right now. And if it was seeming to go really well, I would probably, I'll invest in anything that's really successful. I'll be like,
Of course.
okay, let's go forward. Let's
Why would you
let's
not?
start.
Exactly. So yeah, that's exactly what we'll do. We'll start slow.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
Have a good one.
Absolutely. You too. All right, guys. So, motions have wore off. I just got done with the call. I'm here in Annandale, Minnesota. It's so gorgeous out, guys. I'm walking right now right next to the lake, and I just can't believe that I'm here because it's just incredible. There's all of these cool trees right over here, changing color, as you can see. And then over here, here's the lake. Super dope spot. But yeah, the emotions have wore off. The call or the meeting was super good. It went really great, guys. Justin is a dope dude. He's just a really God-fearing guy. And I was super stoked about that because right away, he didn't waste any time. Super deep, just like me. He got into it and was like telling me exactly, about his company, why he started it, how all of these things, he's for the kingdom, and that he's just such a God-fearing dude. So it's so cool. I won't go into that because I want to keep that private. But man, we probably talked for like the first 30 minutes just on him and his story and his testimony and how he started his company. And it just went really, really well. And it went exactly how I wanted to make improvements on. So like in the video that I took in the car before the meeting, I was explaining to you that I wanted to be more personal, be able to understand what they are, what they do, and just like figure out their experience with people like me and whether or not they already have people like me and whether or not they have a bad taste in their mouth about people like me. So that's kind of what I used the first beginning of the call for, and that was pretty good. We just, yeah, I'll try to get into it now. I always get stoked about those kind of meetings because that would be a super fun client to work with. I'm not going to work with just anybody, and I could really tell that we would align. He's just a no fluff kind of guy, and we get straight to the point, and we figure out what we need, and we get it done, and we make it happen. So that was very encouraging to know that's how he operates, and that's the way he views his business. But at the same time, he's not doing it because he's greedy or because he's harsh or because of whatever. He's just a God-fearing dude that's trying to give back to the kingdom. And so if there's not a more ideal client than that for me, then I don't know who is my ideal client. Like, that was incredible. Okay, but I want to talk about what happened and what's going to come next. So, got in there, talked, and I didn't instead choose to go into, oh, look at what I can do and overwhelm them right away with the things that I can do. Instead, I was like, okay, tell me what you have done, what you're doing, and I'll try to figure out and diagnose if what I can help you with is really worth your time. So he had somebody currently working on social media, and he wants it to be done a little bit differently, more artistically, a little more touch and personality to it. Told him, like, hey, I'm not that guy. I'm not going to be the one who's going to spend time doing that. I know some people that maybe could. Or I don't even know if I said that. I just said that's not me. I do other things. And so he was like, okay, cool. What do you do? And this is after a lot of the conversation has gone by. And I kept kind of giving him a bone. Okay, so I'd give him like something to run with. And then he would start talking, and then I would use that to go into something else. Okay, so it was like I was giving and then I was pulling back, and then I was giving him something to run with and then pulling back, kind of like a fishing line. Okay, so like you give it slack and then you reel in a little bit when you know that you set the hook. And I'm not like, don't take that the wrong way. I don't want you guys to think that that can sound kind of weird, but was keeping it real casual. I just want to make sure that the people that watch this video, you understand that I'm focused on sales and teaching other people how to do that, but then also just like verbally processing myself the things that I'm doing in sales. And so this kind of helps. It serves as two things for me. Basically, what happened was I would give him some information, he would give me some information. I would give him some information, he would give me a lot more information. And then from there, I would diagnose like, hey, okay, so tell me about this guy that's currently doing your website. What does that look like? Like, does he have automation set up? Is he going for Google reviews? Does he have CRM set up? Does he have instant messages set up? And I didn't even really say a lot of those. I touched on a couple of those because he was starting to get anxious about like what I do, because he had like 15 minutes until he had to hop on that other call. And at that point, I hadn't talked about anything about my services. And so then I finally was like, hey, yeah, this is what I do. So you can expect that I'll do ads for you. And we'll sit down and have a strategy call, and we'll go through exactly what that looks like for you. But then you can also expect that we're going to help convert them and qualify them and make sure that they're quality, so that your sales process and your intake is so much easier than it is right now. Because what I discovered in the conversation was that he had been doing a lot of it himself, and he realizes that takes up a lot of time, just like any smart business owner would. And he's trying to change that, wear less hats. And so he wants somebody to do that for him. He now has a general manager, a connection that I actually knew before this general manager worked there, which is crazy. Just so cool how that works. Really good guy, and he's going to become more of the guy who is doing the selling. Okay, so what I realized there in that moment was, okay, this is perfect for what I'm offering for my services. I can help get the leads going right to him, and they can either call that guy, which he probably already has set up, but we can make sure that's smooth. They can either call the GM right away and hop on a sales call, or they can book a schedule, like a day to get on there and chat. Okay, but it's going to give more background on what that person is. So it's like what project they're looking into, what is their budget, asking those kind of questions. And then maybe we get even more specific and ask like, hey, what does your credit look like? Because that's a qualifying question that I had run into when I did sales for the solar company. So I think that could be really advantageous for them. Waste less time talking to the wrong people. Even if it's an uncomfortable question to ask, you might find that you find more success asking those uncomfortable questions like that, because you're eliminating the waste that it takes to talk to those people. Sounds really harsh. Sounds like ridiculous, honestly, when you think about it. But it's just how businesses are run in 2025. So I'm kind of rambling on that specific topic, but that's kind of how it went. Overall, it was really good. He would give me a bit like that, and then I would push into it, and I would make him feel that I'm understanding, I'm hearing what he's saying, but then I would also make him feel like, oh, like, yeah, there is a different way. And yeah, this guy is like, he's right. Like, I am spending way too much time, and yeah, I've been feeling that way. Like, that, it like validates that he's thinking in the right way, but then also gives him a solution, which is me, so that he doesn't have to feel bad that he hasn't solved the problem yet. He has somebody in front of him that's about to do that. Does that make sense? I'm going super deep into the psychology here of this sale, but excited. Basically, what ended up happening was we talked for an hour. Have another meeting coming up where we're going to talk about strategy, give him a quote, and then from there, he just wants to know what we do from there. So that's what I'll be coming ready with in the next time when I meet with him. So I'll probably call him here later this evening and just figure out a time that works best for him. And then I'll send him over some materials so that he can see, exactly what I'm talking about. And then hopefully move him into a client. So I want to be able to set up some resources that I don't have right now. I know I need this. I need to be able to onboard him efficiently. So I'm going to focus on putting together some documents that help them set up for sharing their Google Meta profile, or I just mixed those two up. The Google profile, the Google business profile, and then the Meta business suite, so that I can easily step into there, manage the ads, and see it from my point of view as the ad manager, okay? So another thing that I need to set up for onboarding is the process of putting the automations through their website. So I'll have to do some research on that and figure out how that looks. I've never done it before, so it doesn't mean that I can't do it, right? That just means that I'm ready to learn, and here I am. So it's exciting times, guys. And the conversation was great. So I'm just excited to go from here because, like I said, this is my second time pitching this offer. Got really good feedback the first time, and now I'm finding that it is really solid. And I'm finding more joy in just talking with these people than I did the first time. Maybe that's a little early to say because this is only the second time talking about it, but I think it's easier for both parties when there's no pressure, when there's no sales language or limited sales language, and it's more so just a conversation. It's about where you're at and where you're trying to go. And I think that helps people put their guard down. That's something that I forgot when I first went out and pitched the offer. I kind of came with my guard up, almost acting needy, as if I needed the sale, which in reality I do, but people can feel that, and then they can get confused in their head and think, oh, I wonder why. Is he not good at what he does? Is he not confident in his service? They have all of these thoughts after that, and that's fair, right? That's totally fair. Wasn't the case this time around. It was a really good conversation. I've talked about it a lot now, and I'm just going to leave you guys with this. A lot of times when we're trying to pitch people, we are focused on the dollars, and we're focused on what we can get out of it, which is fair, okay? It's business. It's a transaction at the end of the day, but we're trying to build relationships here in business. We are trying to help people long-term, not just make a quick buck and dip. A lot of people get that reputation in the marketing world because a lot of people do that, and I'm not one of those people. So if you're watching this and you're just new at starting your business, whatever your offer might be, whatever you do and specialize in, just lead with that, guys. Don't be trying to do everything under the sun, and be honest about what you do too, okay? So don't overpromise and underdeliver is what I'm trying to say. Don't focus on the dollar signs and forget there's a human behind the business, because at the end of the day, we're humans and we're not machines, okay? So be patient. Just keep working. Keep testing. This was not an easy journey of me first finding out that my offer wasn't a sell on the spot kind of offer. That's what I was expecting, and that's just not what happened. That wasn't the reality.
my experience didn't match up with my expectations, and that's fine. And so now here I am. I have expectations and I have a little more experience. And so they're meeting, which is exciting because the work and the research and all of the time that I've spent looking at this, building this, and conceptualizing this is coming together, guys. And I couldn't be more happy about that. Glory to God, for real. You know, there's moments where I thought I should just like scrap and do something else and completely change the offer. But that's not the case. I've changed the offer a few times, but I know that this is one that I'm going to settle on. And so I'm super excited about that. And yeah, guys, I'm rambling. This has been cool. I'm learning how to vlog and do this YouTube thing at the same time because I know how effective it is. And I honestly just want to be able to look back and show my kids and show myself, like, look, this is what you used to look like. And this was what like was going through your mind at this point in your life. And I don't know, it just sounds beautiful to me. So I'm trying to figure that out, trying to put some content out, help people. There's somebody in my exact situation right now, somewhere in the world. And if they watch this video, they can learn something from it. They can take something away. So that's my mission, guys, to help people. So with that, guys, peace.